What is the position of Tantra vis-a-vis the Veda?
Tantric texts are also known as agamas. The word agama means that which has come down. In other words, something that has been transmitted through tradition in an authoritative manner. A prefix meaning towards or arrival. Gam, a root verb or dhatu meaning to go or to come. So, agama literally means that which has come to us, that which has been handed down, referring to knowledge, teachings, or scriptures that have been transmitted through tradition. We can call it inductive experience through tradition. And where does this transmission originate from? It is said to come from Sri Parameshwara, Lord Shiva himself. Adrishta vigrahat shantat shivat paramakaranat dhvanirupam vinishkrantam shastram paramadurlabham. This means this Agama Shastra has emerged in sound form from the great Lord Sri Parameshwara, who is invisible, tranquil, and the supreme cause. There is a verse that describes the transmission of Agama. Shivena Devya Dattam to Nandine, Nandina Brahmana Dattam Brahmana Rishi Dattakam, Rishina Manusha Dattam Ityede Agamodbhavam. So, what does this mean? Sri Parameshwara taught it to Sri Parashakti, who then taught it to Nandikeshwara. Nandikeshwara passed it on to Brahma, Brahma to the Rishis, that is sages, and the Rishis then transmitted it to human beings. This is how the Agamas are believed to have originated. Ityede Agamodbhavam. Now, when we look at the Vedas, they are called Nigamas. The term Nigama refers to that which has been concluded or inferred. Nigamanam, deductive knowledge. Understanding the essence of Vedas requires knowledge of the Vedangas, which are 6 auxiliary disciplines like Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, and Jyotisha. Shiksha is phonetics, Kalpa deals with rituals, Vyakarana is grammar, Nirukta etymology, Chandas is meter, and Jyotisha is astronomy or astrology. Since these disciplines help in arriving at the conclusions of the Vedas are known as Nigamas. So, we can say that Tantra and Veda are defined using the terms Agama and Nigama. Both, of course, are paths to liberation, Moksha Marga. However, unlike the Vedic path, which is more exclusive and not meant for everyone, Tantra is open to all. According to the original Vedic injunctions, the Samhitas, that is the Vedic hymns, along with their Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads, that is basically the entire Vedic corpus, were not accessible to those who were not born in a Brahmana family. Even though today many non-Brahmanas study Upanishads, if we go strictly by the original Vedic rules, it does not seem like they were meant for everyone. That is how it was traditionally understood, right? The Vedic scriptures and their branches are collectively referred to as Shruti, which means that which is heard. But there is also a statement which says both Vedic and Tantric are 2 classes of Shruti, and they are the basis on which Dharma is established. Shruti Pramanako Dharma, Shrutischa Dvividha Vaidiki Tantriki cha. However, by the usage Shruti, what is commonly meant is only Vedas, because they are meant to be listened to, contemplated upon, and intellectually grasped. For studying Vedanta or understanding Upanishadic philosophy, one needs advanced knowledge and intellectual maturity. That is why it is not something everyone can simply pick up and understand. But Tantra is entirely different in this regard. Unlike the Vedic system, Tantra does not require any prior intellectual capability or scholarship. Tantra is fundamentally a sadhana shastra, a practical science of spiritual discipline. But it is also possible that Tantra probably evolved and developed as a simplified form of Vedic rites. It is quite likely that the Tantra developed as a more accessible and practical form of Vedic rituals. For example, instead of elaborate Vedic fire rituals, that is yajna, temples emerged as places of worship where everyone had the freedom to offer prayers. Similarly, grand Vedic sacrifices like Ashwamedha, Atiratra or Vajapeya, Agnishtoma and so on might have gradually been replaced by temple rituals and puja practices. At the same time, the chanting of Vedic mantras was probably restructured in a way that retained its scriptural authenticity, while specific tantric mantras and associated deities gained prominence. Over time, Tantra may have incorporated additional practices such as dhyana, that is meditation, pranayama, breath control, and bhavana kriya, that is visualization techniques, making it more integrated spiritual system. And when we talk about Kundalini and yogic disciplines, it is quite possible that in ancient times these were an integral part of tantric practice itself. The very essence of Tantra, or one of its most important aspects, is its inclusivity. It provides Trananam, that is protection and liberation to all without any discrimination based on caste or gender. Unlike the Vedic path, which has certain restrictions, Tantra is open to everyone, whether they are educated or not, whether they have formal scriptural knowledge or not. That is the big difference. Even those who were traditionally considered ineligible for Vedic studies, such as women and Shudras, have full access to Tantra. It is primarily a system of shikshana or parishilana, a training system. It does not demand intellectual sharpness or scriptural expertise. What it does require, however, is faith, complete faith, unwavering focus, and deep commitment. That is all that truly matters in the path of Tantra. And that is what makes it so unique.